Okay, I'm not sure if any of you remember this. Back when I was a much less sophisticated statistics professor, I was having trouble interpreting this outcome here of, so this is the contrast between the Asian Pacific Islanders, and this would be Native American, Alaskan Natives would be one, and the difference in their incomes being somewhere between 0.193 and 0.644. And I knew that didn't sound right, but I wasn't quite sure. And because we were doing the natural log of incomes, I just raised that to the e to the power of this, and I thought that would reverse the log. When I actually worked it out mathematically, I saw what my mistake was. So we have basically instead of the income of Asian Americans minus income of Native Americans, we have Asian Pacific Islanders minus Native Americans, and that equaled the 0.193 on the low end, and on the high end it was 0.644. And I just raised e to the power of that. But I neglected to realize that there was a subtraction going on here. And so when we're subtracting logs, we can change this to a ratio. So this would be Asian Pacific Islanders over Native Americans equals, and that's just one of the three main properties of logs. When you're subtracting two logs of the same base, you can change it into a single log, but as a fraction here. And now we can raise, to get rid of this natural log, we can raise both sides to e to the power of that side, and that would give us Asian Pacific Islanders over Native Americans equals, and here's where we had that 1.21 that I was struggling to interpret. Now it makes a lot more sense because it's not in terms of thousands of dollars or anything like that. It's basically saying that the Asian income, average Asian Pacific Islander income, is 1.2 times that of the Native American. And the Native Americans, for reference from our sample, was 21,056, the average Native American salary. So the Asian Pacific Islander would be 1.21 times that. And then we would do the same thing for the high side here. So 0.644 would have been here, 0.644. And then we would have taken e to the power of 0.644, and that would give us a high side. So let me get that real quick for you. So that's 1.90. So we can be pretty sure that the average Asian Pacific Islander salary is somewhere between 1.2 times and 1.9 times as much as the average Native American salary. And just to show you what it looks like, so what I'm more used to looking at is this would have been if we didn't transform the income data and then ran the ANOVA. Here was the contrast between those same two categories. And here our confidence interval would be somewhere between 6,000 and 16,000, and that is just in dollars. So we're pretty confident that the average Asian Pacific Islander salary is somewhere between $6,000 and $16,000 higher than the average Native American salary. So the difference is, this is really easy to interpret, but it's not quite as, because we did violate that assumption of equal variance without the transform, this probably is a little optimistic in terms of how precise. So the reality is, when you run through the logs and then do this 1.2 to 1.9 times as much, I think the confidence interval ends up swelling a little more, and that's probably more the reality, is that we're not quite as certain as this ANOVA would allow us to believe.